exciting happened last week, and I'm really excited to tell you about it. So, 3 homes sold in 1 week in Azure. I guess I should say went under contract. What's so exciting about that is that that's more than have sold in the past 6 months. So we've had more activity in 1 week than we have in the past 6 months. This is a really good sign. There was a single family home for 850,000, one for 950, and one for 1.149 that all went under contract. So this is a really great sign. We only have 7 single family homes available for sale right now. That is a very low number. If you have been keeping up with my updates, you'll know that a couple of years ago, we had 33 homes for sale in all of Azure, and 19 of those at one point were single family homes. So there was a lot of inventory on the market, and it's all about timing. So even though the prices have been quite low, if you're thinking about selling, the timing is important to consider what you're competing with on the market. So right now you've only got 7 on the market. The lowest home right now is $1,070,000. As far as what is actually closed, there's only been one closed single family home sale in the past 120 days. And that is a single family home with a pool that closed for $815,000. Yikes, I know that's low. Not my listing, by the way. But the fact that there was only one home sold in 120 days, and by the way, within that 120 days was January, February, and March, which are our typically 3 busiest months of the year. That is the least amount of sales in that time period that I have seen in Azure since the development started. What does that have to do with? I have a few opinions on it, not all of which I can say publicly, but we'll tell you in private. A lot of that does have to do with competition from the builder, from the other builders, Valencia Sky, Camus, Seven Shores. Those are all a factor in what has been happening in Azure at Hacienda Lakes. It's hard to sell newer construction when there's brand new construction for the same price, similar price, or even lower in some cases. So that has definitely had an effect. Now, for those of you who think it's Costco, it is definitely not Costco. I know that everyone in the neighborhood is really up in arms about the Costco. And I have a funny story. Maybe it's not funny to you, but I have an interesting story is when everyone was kind of really up in arms about the Costco, I actually had a buyer call me and say, we want a community close to Costco. You guys, I'm not kidding you. It was an elderly gentleman. They didn't like to drive very much, but he wanted to make sure there was a Costco. And I laughed out loud because I've been talking to so many of my past clients in Azure that says, what is going to happen to our home values because of this Costco? And I literally had someone call me and says, we just want to be near a Costco. And I was like, see guys, it's not so bad. But no, I really do not think that the Costco is negatively affecting your property values. If you really look at North Naples and how congested that is. I know you're worried about the congestion that it's going to bring, but just drive to North Naples at between 4 and 5 o'clock. And even with Costco there, you are still going to be so much less congested. There's going to be so much less traffic than basically anywhere Vanderbilt Beach Road, north, especially east. So you're still doing good as far as congestion goes in that area. Yes, Naples is growing, and the only areas Naples can grow in is east. It's mostly growing in the south and the northeast, but it's definitely growing in the southeast as well. So yes, you're going to see more and more development, more restaurants, more stores, more of everything. But that's there's nothing we can do about that. You're the only area that they can do. We can't go west because we're in the Gulf of Mexico, and you can't go north because there's Bonita. If you have a villa or you're looking to buy a villa, that situation is a little bit different. There have been quite a few sales. In the past 120 days, there have been 5 villa sales. between 495,000. Yikes, I know that's so low, not my listing, to 575,000. Now that 575 did have its own pool. So the highest non-pool villa is my listing that I sold at 9084 for 560,000, and that was the highest sale in almost a year for a villa not on the lake. So the lake obviously gets premium. But five villa sales. Right now, there are eight villas for sale between 550,000 and 864,000. The one for 550 is a two bedroom. So the least expensive three bedroom right now is 599,900, which is a really pretty villa on a lake, actually. Not my listing either, but it's pretty. Okay, so why are the villas selling more than the single family homes or more frequently? Again, because I think that new construction does have a large effect on the sales. There are really not that many developments competing with the villas. Seven Shores has villas, but Camus, Valencia Sky, they do not have villas. So you're not competing with a villa there. So I think the villa is a great product. The villa is always a popular sell. People love villas. I think it's perfect for a snowbird who doesn't really want the maintenance of a single family home. It's no one above you, no one below you. I just think the villas are a really great product. In the past year, we've had 9 sales in Azure for single family homes. Of those 9, 4 of those were off the lake, not with a lake view, with a preserve view. But at one point, there was a 6-month period where there was only one sale that was not on the lake. So the lake homes were definitely selling a lot faster. When nothing was selling, if you were on the lake, you definitely had the advantage. There was a point where I didn't even take listings that weren't on the lake because they were just not getting any activity or moving. So now that's changed a little bit. Like I said, there have been a few off-lake homes sell recently, but the lakefront homes obviously have an advantage. People want a view in Florida. They generally want to look at something pretty. They're here for retirement. So they want to look at something nice. So the lake views definitely sell faster, and of course they get a higher price. But generally, when you sell faster, you get more money. So having that lake view is definitely an advantage when you're selling. As far as the coach homes goes, there has only been one sale in the past year. So not a lot to say there. It was a two-story coach home that sold for 690,000. Right now there are two coach homes on the market, a first floor for 654,000 and a second floor for 700,000. So not a lot of activity with the coach homes. They are great floor plans. They are beautiful. Some of them have just spectacular views. But the challenge is that people want that outdoor space. They want a lanai where they can sit outside and grill and just kind of lounge in an outdoor area. So while it has the advantages, it has great square footage, and especially the second floor with the 3-bedroom plus den, it does take a little bit longer to sell those coach homes, and they're not quite as desirable in some cases as the villas or the single family homes. So let's talk average list to sales price. For the villas, the average list to sales price is 94.9%, which is right in line with Naples, which is right around 94 to 95%. The average days on the market is 141 days, which is a little bit higher than the average in Naples. For the single family homes, the average list to sales price is 93.78. The average days on the market is quite high. Actually, it says 102 days on the market, but some of these homes have been relisted. So, like, I'll go down the list of the sales. This is the past year of the ones that have sold. They were on the market for 138 days, 119, 199, 42, 243, 205, 138, 130. But some of these, they were already on the market. So some of these homes have been on the market for over a year. So the average listed sales price is definitely over 6 months, which again attributes to the competition out there and a couple other things, which again, I'm not going to say publicly, but I will tell you privately. Listen, I'm always about being 100% transparent. If I have information that will affect you buying or selling, I will give it to you. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm only here to help you. And I will give you all the information. I just may not give it publicly in a YouTube video, okay? But I will give you all the information, the good, the bad, the ugly. I am not the kind of person that is just trying to get a sale. I want to do what's best for you. I'm in it for the long haul. I've had a client one time for 11 years. It took them 11 years to buy a home. 11 years. Listen, I'm here for you, whether it's now or later. I'll be here. So I'm not going to tell you something just to get you to buy or sell with me. I'll give you all the facts and help you decide if that's right for you. So anyway, I hope this market information video helped you. If you have any questions, if you need any specific information, I know this was very general information, but if you are a homeowner and you want to know what your home is worth, call me. Obviously, I know that neighborhood very well. I probably already know your house and a lot about your house. So just give me a call if you're thinking about buying. Well, I love that neighborhood. Um, there are some great buys in there right now, and I will help you find the perfect home. So contact me and let's talk. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.